thing I realize is I often think I remember things, but then when I start laying out the details, I realize that may not be quite how it happened. But I do know that I definitely met Matthew somewhere between 2006, 2007, possibly, and I remember that it was related to the hacker community, most likely at the Congress. Would have been in Berlin back in those days. We used to go to the Hacker Congress, the CCC, and we met maybe after one of my talks or maybe just in the hallways. Either way, I remember the feeling and the exchange, the way it was, more so than the details of what we spoke about. And that's either my poor memory or maybe it's normal. I don't know. But so back then, we would have talked about topics like news, information, how it is communicated. And I think we both share a concern for how the world is talked about and how the world understands itself, groups between groups especially. And that's been something I've been working on, and in his way also, I think Matthew's been working on. So we used to talk about that a lot. I guess we still do in many ways, because this branches into our interest in podcasting, both of us having produced podcasts at some point or another. And to this day, I know Matthew's still an avid podcast listener, as am I, and we discuss all aspects of producing, listening, because it is such a fascinating world for us. I think we're both listeners. We're audiophiles. And in 2000, it would have been 9, here comes that memory problem again, I found myself in Tokyo through a series of coincidences and good luck. And that was during a bar camp, which I know Matthew used to help organize. And it was a wonderful event. I met so many people from the community, the hacker community, the startup community. I don't even know all the communities, but it was an interesting and wonderful group to meet, some of which I'm still in touch with today. Hi. And I also got to go to Tokyo Hackerspace, another project in which Matthew was involved with, and that was also a great treat. So it was the in-person meetings, but of course, in between, as happens with many of our relationships nowadays, it was the communication, the text messages, maybe the occasional Skype, but above all, just the every now and then messages. And I realize now, as we're facing this, what do you call it, right? This horrible sickness, that I missed a lot of details. And, I didn't know these little things about his everyday life. And now I really like asking and hearing. And I guess we're all kind of getting to know each other in a new way, whether we're old friends or new friends or on and off communicators. So that's something that I've really treasured the last weeks, and I'll continue to treasure for as long as we've got. And that brings me to the aspect of helping Matthew to survive longer in this world. And you can help do that by going to Matthew Dons. Matthew has 2 T's in it, MatthewDons.org. And you can donate, and that donation goes towards his fund for treatment, which is not the chemo part, but it's more the other stuff, the immune therapy, because the goal here is to survive as long as possible. And I hope you'll help. I know I will continue to do what I can, and I also think it's a wonderful, in the middle of all this horror, it's a wonderful thing to reconnect and get to know each other, or get to know each other in new ways that we never knew before, talk about things that we never talked about before, because it seemed like there was always time, or it seemed like you didn't want to be too sensitive. Everything is thrown out now when it comes to not now, or now's not the time. And it's for in terrible circumstances, but I think it also brings something. There's something good going on here between us. All right. Matthew, big hug. And to all friends, it's been wonderful seeing you, meeting many of you for the first time, and knowing who you are and who he is to you. There is beauty here. It's just hard to see during some very difficult moments. All right.